Hey everyone, this is DWS Darius, and today we are in a fish room. In this video I want to give you guys a look at me feeding all my fish, which is a total of about around 70 to 80 aquarium fish. I have more fish in a pond, topping my total to about over 100. But I want to give you guys a look at my aquarium fish. But really the main reason why I picked up the camera is because I invited a new person into my family, and that is Juno, the Newfoundland puppy. I know my channel is strictly about fish, but I just had to make this video because this is a puppy, and this puppy is just huge. Now let me give you guys a look at him next to this 55-gallon tank. So if you ever been to Petco, PetSmart, you know how big a 55-gallon tank is. Juno, come here. Come here, Juno. He still don't know his name. This is actually the first day of me having him. So let me give you guys a look at him next to... That's a 40-gallon. He's about the size of a 40-gallon tank, and this is a puppy. You know, I like my big fish. I stopped keeping big fish, so now I have a big dog. But yeah, that's just an awesome little new addition to my family. So just want to give you guys a look at Juno. Come here. Yeah, so he's cool. But yeah, now to all my fish people, thank you for being patient. Now let's get to feeding all these awesome aquarium fish. Now at first I was going to hook up the tripod. That's a new tripod I got, but I think I'm going to try to do this with the camera in my hand. So that way I don't got to do a lot of editing. And I can practice my balancing skills. So I feed my fish a huge diversity of foods. Maybe some people would say I feed them too much. See, that's my little fish cabinet. It's a little messy, but a huge assortment of food. Sit that camera down. So first off, I'm starting with my planting tank. As always, I have some New Life Spectrum small fish formula. I just take a little, focus in, just take a little tap, and I stick my finger in. While they're still eating that, I take a little bit of flakes. This is just random tropical fish flakes, not even any name brand. It's just Dr. Foster & Smith. I like this because it's just a huge container. It must taste good because even some of my cichlids love eating this stuff. But yeah, I give them a nice little dosage of flakes. Now this is my typical standard feeding. This is what I feed my regular feeding. Every now and then, because there are discus in this aquarium, I feed bloodworms, beef heart, my freeze-dried foods and stuff like that. But this is my everyday basic fish food. Next, I'll take some of these Hikari sinking Cichlid Gold. Take a little bit of that. And I'll feed the female buttercoferi. She's about 10 inches. And she could eat about 10 of those. But her favorite food is these tubifex worms. I showed you guys her eating some of this. Even after she just ate all of those pellets, she's willing to still eat one of these. Yeah, look at it. But she just loved those. After that, I come to my grain terror thing. This is the same order that I feed my fish every day as well. And these, they don't eat much. They've really just spawning. So I just toss in about 4 to 5 of those Hikari sinking Cichlid Gold. Zoom in for you guys. And I get that about twice a day. Then over here, now these hill stream loaches, I don't feed them anything except the algae that's growing like crazy. I'm even getting some string algae on some of these rocks. You can see right there. So they have enough algae to eat. And if I do feel as if they're not getting enough, I have them look fighting for territory. But if I do feel as if they're not getting enough algae, I'll toss in a rock from the pond. Those pond rocks get algae completely covering them within a couple of days. So look at Juno, ready to go to bed. Oh yeah, I just tossed in a couple of flakes for my white cloud minnows, and they eat those. And it really doesn't take me this long. It's just because I'm trying to focus the camera. So now that I'm coming over to my Central and South American cichlids, I'll close up some of the smaller food and I'll grab these. This is another New Life Spectrum cichlid formula pellet. I'll take some of these. Just take a little sprinkle and toss some in this tank for some of my smaller fish. I'll take another dab and toss it in this tank. This tank just got some new fish. And this tank I have that beautiful sailfin molly with some females. And then I have this tiny, some of the females up there, they're still hiding. Then I have this very, very tiny Haitian cichlid. I'm not going to show him because he's just so tiny, but I've been wanting that fish for a while. When he does grow up, he'll end up in this tank. So yeah, after I feed those the small New Life Spectrum to that tank, I give some more Hikari Sinking Cichlid Gold to these bigger guys up here. You can see they take a little bit of that. And then I top it all off with a little bit of flakes. The Tetra like the flakes, the Geophagus like the flakes. Flakes must be a very flavorful food. All my fish just love, I guess, the taste of these flakes. But yeah, even these big guys love the flakes. Look at the Salvinized Cichlid. This fish is very beautiful, just so aggressive. I have 3 others in this tank and none of them are allowed to show that color, or else this one will fight them. But yeah, that's that. Over here I have my saltwater tank. I'm not going to feed these because I fed them already. I feed these frozen foods every other day, and when I'm not feeding frozen foods, I feed this flake right here. For the frozen food, I feed my Duncan coral. All my predator corals eat some of the frozen food, and I also feed some liquid what is that, plankton to my SPS corals, and they are loving it because they are growing pretty fast. My green star polyps are starting to cover that rock now, so that's awesome. And the last tank down here to feed is my African cichlid tank. So I'll take my New Life Spectrum small cichlid formula, my Hikari Sinking Cichlid Gold, and my flakes. My African cichlids get flakes too. They love the flavor, so I might as well give it to them. So I once again take a dip for my small cichlids. Then I take some of the Hikari Sinking Cichlid Gold for my larger cichlids. A little bit more because I like to see at least maybe 3 hit the bottom so that my loaches can have something to eat. And then I'll top it off with a little bit of flakes. Once again, because they just love the flavor of flakes. Flakes are pretty messy, but they take care of it. And also, in case there's no more pellets for the loaches, at least they can get some flakes. But yeah, that's that. That's all the tanks in the fish room. I'm not sure if I want to leave this dog down here, but I guess I'll be quick to feed the 2's hen. So let me go and do that. He's ready for bed, so. But yeah, up here is my 210 gallon community aquarium. The last time you saw this video, all these plants were in it. This is inocuous. Hopefully it catches. Now the difference between this and my other planted tanks, the substrate is very poor. I just have regular gravel, and it is a tall tank, so the tanks are very far from the light. So I'm taking a risk with this plant. Hopefully it does catch. If it does, that makes it a very hardy plant. Look at the fish. They know it's feeding time. They're all starting to beg for food. That's just awesome. And I also added some new discus. I have this nice little red one, and where is a smaller blue one. But yeah, that's what's new to this tank since the last time I gave you that fish room update. And that's the thing about my tanks. I give you guys a fish room update, and then days later, the tank is just dramatically changed. But yeah, with this tank, let me turn the light on. With this tank, I also try to mix it up a little bit. So just recently, I went and got some Discus Bio Gold from Hikari. This tank is a little bit harder to feed because I have to open the lid. But let me grab some of that. Toss a little bit of that. And actually, the Discus don't even get it, so it's probably pointless of me because these fish are just so fast. That's just like the appetizer. I feed that and it distracts the other fish so that my Discus are able to eat. Then I feed, the thing with this thing, I have all different types of fish, all different sizes. The electric blue car right there, Geophagus, all different sizes. So I gotta feed all different sizes of food. So right now is another bag of Hikari Sinking Cichlid Gold going in there. And then I top it off with flakes. Now, because this tank has the most Discus, I do a lot of feeding throughout the day. I feed mealworms, bloodworms. I just got a package of black worms, so I'm going to try that pretty much hour after this feeding. I feed light feedings, but I do try to feed a couple of times a day so that my discus could get the nutrients that they need. You see, that's the biggest, and you see he has that attitude that just demands food. But yeah, once again, another messy food. These flakes are pretty messy once again, but fish absolutely love them, so I say why not. But yeah, that's a look at how I feed my tanks. Of course, it is a lot neater process when I'm not holding the camera in my hand and when I'm not trying to do it with one hand. But yeah, that's a little idea of me and my feeding experience. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video of me not putting too much editing and kind of going raw, let me know what you guys think. Like all that time I wasn't focused. But yeah, if you like me just going like raw without too much editing, let me know. But yeah, this has been a feeding video, and that will be all. Once again, thank you all for watching. Oh yeah, and because Juniper is now like, let me go back downstairs. I was doing my ending, but I got a lot of stuff to say today. So look, he made it up here. Because Juniper is a new member of the family, he is going to be a little bit in the way of me making videos, so my videos won't be as frequent, but I'll still try to get you guys some content. But yeah, that has been a look at the fish. Let me know what you guys think. See you later.